Let's get our paint from looking like this to looking like this. What is going on, everybody? Welcome back. It is currently about 5 o'clock in the morning, and I woke up and I thought, what a better way to spend my morning than trying to reassemble this hunk of junk. Here's kind of what I want to do today. I want to get all these parts wet sanded and polished out and get them reassembled on the car so that we can have a full car again. But I'm also making more work for myself, and that's okay. I am choosing to strive for perfection, or as perfect as I can get it. So, see, this looks really good, but I decided to re-wet sand the roof and continue to wet sand until I get it looking like that. So we still have a ways to go on the entire roof. So I'm gonna get this knocked out real quick so we can get this wet sanded down, polished out. So that way, the only thing we have to worry about is rear bumper, front bumper, wing, hood scoop, side skirts. So with that being said, let's get moving. Let's make the most of this morning. Let's build some cars. Alright, so we got both bumpers fully prepped out now. These look so much better than they did before. Now you can see on the rear bumper, like there's a little bit of orange peel, but that'll be taken out with the 2000 grit when we put this actually on here and go ahead and give it its final wet sand. So this looks worlds better than what it did before, and this looks so much better as well. So now from here, our parts to wet sand is getting smaller and smaller and smaller. So all we have left is 2 side skirts, which is what we're going to handle right now. The wing, which isn't going to take very much at all. And then the bumper covers, which isn't going to take very much at all either. So let's get these guys banged out real quick. So like I said, this clear laid down pretty flat. There's just a little bit of dirt in here. This guy's going to get 800 on the top, 800, 2000, 3000 on the top, and we're only going to do 2,000, 3,000 on the sides because there's not that much to worry about here, and it looks very good and not very orange peely. So we'll go ahead and get this guy prepped out. I'm not going to make you sit through another time lapse of me doing this, so we're going to talk this one out just for a couple seconds. So I figured out that the reason why I'm getting so much orange peel necessarily isn't an equipment issue, but what it is I am not spraying this clear at a high enough PSI out of my gun. So, doing a couple things wrong. Number one, what I did wrong was I relied on the regulator on my actual compressor. While spraying air through the gun, I had the regulator set at like 35 psi, but what I didn't account for is pressure drop throughout continuous spray. So what I needed to do was have a regulator on the actual gun to give me the true pressure coming out of the hose, and I can guarantee you it would have been a lot more accurate and I wouldn't have this orange peel issue. So really what it is it's not atomizing correctly and it's giving me false hope pretty much. But it still lays down fine. It's just now when I go to paint new parts, I'm gonna have a regulator on the gun and the regulator is gonna be set at like 32 psi to be able to make sure that that's what it is coming out of the gun, so that we don't run into a pressure drop issue, which is the main reason we had orange peel in the first place. But I was spraying this at a higher psi than I did the rest of the car at, so in theory and with the results, the clear is a lot flatter. So let me go ahead and get this knocked out and I'll show you what this looks like after a full cut with 800 grit, and then we'll go through the whole process of stepping it up to 3000 grit. So there's what it looks like in 800 grit. Nice and sanded down. We have most of the orange peel gone, and there's 2000, 3000 grit. Now that's after 5000 grit. So this thing's gonna look really good. I wish that I was able to compound polish it tonight, but I did end up just washing my compounding pad and it's still wet, so I need to wait for that to dry until tomorrow. I need to knock out this second one, and then we move on to the bumper covers and the wing, and then we're done. Then we are done compounding, polishing, sanding, and giving myself a headache dealing with all of this stuff. I'm gonna get this knocked out, we'll check it out when it's done, and then here tomorrow we can go ahead and compound and polish everything. Alright everybody, so we do have everything fully wet sanded and everything turned out really well. So we just knocked out the wet sand on the top, the spot that is exactly seen the most on the car. That's going to be super bright, shiny, nice. Everything else looks really good. These turned out absolutely amazing. The inside, the clear laid really flat, so I didn't even worry about it. I just made sure that the outside was really good. The only thing that we haven't done is the wing, and I haven't tackled the wing yet, mainly because I kind of want to drive the car wingless for a little bit and just drive it around with some braking miles before I go ahead and drill holes in the trunk and pretty much just ride it how it is. And we'll deal with the wing later. That wing's going to need a good bit of work. There's quite a bit of runs, and we can knock that out at a different time. But I want to get all these parts that are going to be permanently fixed to the car forever completely polished out, looking good again. Let's get our paint from looking like this to looking like this. And it only takes a few steps and a little bit of your time. These panels are wet sanded down to 3000 grit. So we started with 800 grit, 2000, 3000 grit, and that is where this leaves us here. We had a lot of orange peel on both of these panels. So we're going to run through the process of reviving the shine of your car by using compound and polish. If you're ever going to fix any defects in the paint, like we have here. Alright, so first and foremost, I want to get these panels back onto the car, especially the rear bumper. It's going to make it a lot easier to compound and polish these panels because they are pretty flimsy, you can see. So to get these back on the car, increase rigidity so that way when our polisher runs over them, you're not skipping around. So I'm going to get these guys back up onto the vehicle. Then we're going to jump into every tool that we need to complete this process and make it look brand new again. Here's all the products that I like to use. All of these work great, and if you have your own that you think work better, preference of products that make it easy for you to work with, go with that. But this is what I use, and this is what I like to use. So to start off, we're going to use from Griot's Garage a Speed Shine. Spray that on the panel, and that's going to get rid of all the sanding dust that's left over from when we wet sanded this entire piece. You're also going to need a whole mess of microfiber towels. And then here's where the magic happens. So this is just a Chemical Guys dual action polisher. You can use any polisher that you want. You can use a rotary. It all depends on your skill level. I'm not that skilled at this, so I use a Chemical Guys dual action polisher along with Meguiar's Ultra Cut Compound and Chemical Guys Orange Pad. That's going to be my first step. And then we're going to wipe off all the compound dust and we're going to move into polishing. So this is Meguiar's Ultra Finish Polishing with a Chemical Guys finishing pad. Both of these are their Hex Logic pads. I've had these for a while. Make sure you clean your pads, take good care of them. I've had this pad for both of these for probably around 5 years, and they work great. And last but not least, if you're polishing in the morning, a nice cup of coffee is going to be the last thing that you need to make these cars look good. Alright, so first step is going to be, let's get this panel nice and clean so that we can go ahead and compound it down to make it look brand new again. First step is going to be compound with orange pad. And we're going to prime this pad because we don't want any dry spots on here. So what I like to do, I like to throw a little bit on here and then I'll just rub it in just to get this pad started to be primed so we don't mess anything up. Alright, now this pad is primed, we're only going to do about 3 or 4 dots of compound. And that'll be enough to get us started. Alright, so let's start on a small spot right here. And here's something that's kind of super important. You want to blotch your product onto the panel before you turn your machine on high speed, because that way all of your product is going to sit on the panel instead of getting flung off the panel. So now that it's on the panel, we're going to start on a low speed, get all this worked in. And now that all this is worked in, let's crank up the speed, and we're going to do about 4 to 5 passes like this and then like this. And that should bring this back to life for the most part, and then the fun part, which is polishing. Now that is just a single step of compound. As you can see, it's still kind of dull, kind of hazy. Once we get this whole thing fully done like that, then we can go ahead and hit it with some polish and bring back the immense shine like right there. So when polishing though, take your time, but when you are compounding, you don't want to sit in one spot too long because number one, that'll create heat, and then you're going to burn through your clear coat. So you want to continuously be moving at a slow rate so that you don't burn through this clear, because if you burn through the clear, you're going to have to run through problems like I did, where I have to repaint the entire bumper. So another little thing, I am bringing all these back to life from a 3000 grit sand scratch. You don't have to go this far when trying to just take out swirls in your paint. You don't need to wet sand you don't need to wet sand your entire car if you're going to just try to bring out swirls. You're going to want to make sure your car is clean, do an IPA wipe down, and I recommend using something like this for a single step, like scratch and swirl remover. This is from Chemical Guys, and it works really well, but for my scenario, I have sanded a lot of these parts down. They need a 2-step paint correction, to be able to make this paint come back to life and look good. If I was just going to use that single step on the roof, it wouldn't come out very well at all. So let's get the rest of this bumper looking like that, and then we'll go through and we'll run into the polishing process. Alright, so we just got the compounding completely done on this whole thing, and it all looks really good. So now, for step 2, we're going to move on to the gray pad with the ultra finishing polish on the DA, and that should hopefully bring out all of the shine to make it look like that. Alright, so same process, about 4 or 5 drops of the polish on a primed polishing pad. We're going to dab it onto this panel. And we'll look at the difference right here between compound and compound polish. There is just compound and then compound polish. It looks just like a mirror. When you go to the compound side, you have a little bit of haze. Move over to the polish side, no haze. And then the process is just the same for the entire car. So this is my favorite way of doing it, with obviously parts that have been wet sanded, but also if parts have not been wet sanded, I still like to, number one, measure the paint so that you know how much clear coat material you have to work with, and then secondly, do a 2-step on it. Do a cut and a compound, and that's going to get rid of all of your big scratches and your minor scratches, and it's going to look absolutely phenomenal when you're done. So just as you can see, there's the haze up top where it's just compound, and then down here is all polish. So it makes a huge difference, and your whole car is going to look just like a mirror when it's finished. So take your time, do it correctly, do it to the best of your ability, and you're going to have good results. So it really is just as simple as that. It's really just a 2-step process if you want really good results. Now, if you want to shoot for semi-perfection like I'm going for, then you're going to need more like a 4 or 5-step process, but there's not so much effort involved, but it does take a lot of time. So take your time with it, because it's going to be an endeavor. And if you mess up, no worries. Keep trying until you get it good. But that's going to be a wrap on today's video. I appreciate all of you watching. Thank you guys so much, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. See ya.